Welcome to Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast, the podcast that empowers you to turn your dreams into reality using the law of attraction. I'm your host, Papi DiNuzzo, and together we'll dive into the mindset, strategies, and energy shifts you need to create the life you've always envisioned. Whether it's health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, or spirituality. Inspired by my transformative book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, each episode brings you practical tools, inspiring stories, and bold insights to unlock your limitless potential. Get ready to manifest your greatness, and let's dive in.
Podcast disclosure. The following podcast is by DiNuzzo Private Wealth, Inc. DiNuzzo is for general informational purposes only. No portion of the podcast serves as the receipt of or as a substitute for personalized investment advice from DiNuzzo. Different types of investments involve varying degrees of risk, and it should not be assumed that future performance of any specific investment or investment strategy or any non-investment related or planning services, discussion, or content will be profitable, be suitable for your portfolio or individual situation, or prove successful. No portion of the podcast content should be construed by a client or prospective client as a guarantee that he or she will experience a certain level of results if DiNuzzo is engaged or continues to be engaged to provide investment advisory services. Namaste, I'm Mikey, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today, along with manifestation mindset coach Papi DiNuzzo, on the Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast. If you're a successful entrepreneur looking to take your business, life, health, wealth, love, and impact to the next level, the Papi Mindset Manifestation Mastermind or the Papi Mindset Manifestation Retreats may be just the answer and experience you've been looking for. This is where positive thoughts, emotions, and actions align with ancient wisdom within a tribe of purpose meets profit entrepreneurs who are dedicated to elevating their mindset, their energy, their results, and their fellow brothers and sisters in need. If you're ready to manifest, grow, stretch, and really step into the next newer, higher version of yourself, Papi's Mastermind and Retreats were created just for you. Also, if you aren't already, I highly suggest that you go over to Papi's social media. It is a continuous stream of positive energy, and his tribe just continues to grow. So I highly recommend that you follow, share, and like Papi on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Now let's go over to Papi for his monologue today and to set the table for today's podcast. Hello, Papi.
Grand Rising, Mikey, Grand Rising, Kim, Grand Rising, all of our wonderful fellow brothers and sisters in our audience across the globe, all 6 continents plus. And yes, Mikey, our social media, I'm so grateful. We just crossed over, sort of blew through 1.5 million followers. And again, we have followers from all over the globe. We actually have more, tremendously more outside the United States and inside the United States, Africa, India, South America. I mean, you name it, Egypt, Bangladesh, the countries that I see pop up all over the globe. I'm just so very thankful, so very appreciative, so very grateful. And thank you for getting us off to such a great start, Mikey. Thank you so much. I am so happy and grateful now that something wonderful is happening to you, my fellow brothers and sisters. I'm so happy and grateful now that something wonderful is happening to you today. I'm so happy and grateful now that something wonderful is happening to the loved ones who are nearest and dearest to you today. I'm so happy and grateful now that something wonderful is happening to all of our listeners today and all of our fellow brothers and sisters in need all across this planet Earth. I'm so happy and grateful now that something wonderful is happening to Kim today. I'm so happy and grateful now that something wonderful is happening to Mikey today. I'm so happy and grateful now that something wonderful is happening to myself, to Papi today. Namaste, my beautiful, wonderful fellow brothers. This is Grand Rising. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. Congratulations on the greatest day of your life. My fellow brothers and sisters, you're listening to us right now for a reason. Your subconscious mind called you here. Yes, you are enjoying the greatest day of your life. It can be no other way. It can be no other way. There is no past. There is no future. All there is the present. My fellow brothers and sisters, this specific moment in time, enjoy it. Embrace it. That's what we're going to be talking about on our show today, on the podcast today. I love to remind you, I come to you from a perspective of 100% neutrality. I am neutral as to everything. This is 0% religion, 0% politics, 0% judgment. I love you. I love everyone. My fellow brothers and sisters, I'm coming to you from a perspective of 100% pure spirituality. 100% pure spirituality. What goes on inside your body when you manifest, that's the domain of neuroscience and neuroscientists within the chalk line inside of your body, inside of your frame. Outside of your body, the domain of quantum physicists and quantum physics, quantum mechanics, where Pappy's coming to you is directly from above. You have pure power, spirit, and energy flowing down into you and through you all day long. I implore you, my fellow brothers and sisters, open yourself up. Open yourself up and let your subconscious mind connect with universal subconscious mind to bring anything into your life that you so desire. Anything in your life that you so desire. I'm so happy, grateful now, my fellow brothers and sisters. We live in a thought world within a perfect and infinite thought universe. It is your thoughts that start this entire process, your imagination, your ideas, and your thoughts. And then you add the secret sauce, your feelings and your emotions. My fellow brothers and sisters, Source, universal intelligence, the creator of all, never says no, never ever says no, says yes to everything. That is how much you're loved. Everything that you think of and you apply emotion to, the creator, source, universal intelligence, the source of all says yes. I'm not any good at this. Yes. I'm never going to succeed at this. Yes. I'm never going to figure this out. Yes. I can be successful. Yes. I am tall. Yes. I am strong. Yes. I am healthy. Yes. I am a genius. Yes. I am successful. Yes. I am a failure. Yes. The creator says yes to everything. My fellow brothers and sisters, you have free will. You need to put your big boy pants on and your big girl pants on and accept this. Step into your power. You possess the ability to manifest anything you can imagine. What better, more universal, more complete, immersed love than the Creator has for you, that the Creator would never say no to you. You can manifest anything you can imagine. The kingdom lives within you. The keys to the kingdom live within you. And that is what Pappy is here for. Every podcast and everything that I do, to show you, to convince you, to teach you, to level you up, to hold your hand, to walk arm in arm with you, to get you to understand that the kingdom lives within you. You have a direct relationship with Source. There is no middleman. You need to go nowhere else. You and Source directly. You have this perfect spirit, perfect spiritual DNA, and perfect spiritual spark. And the most important is this: they're all in a tie for number one. But the most important is the perfect spiritual spark that's inside of you. This is the God spark. This is the God force. Your DNA is exactly the same as Source. Your perfect spiritual spark is exactly the same as Source. Your God spark is exactly the same as Source. What could be more exciting than that? You are an endless, eternal, ethereal, spiritual being. There is no end to you. There is no end to your life. How exciting is all of this? You get to incarnate into your life to further elevate and purify your spirit. We come here for lessons. This is the earth school, and you learn your lessons. You come here for karmic lessons, for lessons, to fulfill contracts, soul contracts. You come here to go through cycles. You come here to elevate yourself, my fellow brothers and sisters, and you are so excited to come here to be in one of the most physical, dense forms in the entire universe, and most importantly, to feel and experience emotions. Feel and experience emotions, and this is where a lot of things go sideways. Emotions are extraordinarily powerful. You come here to harness and direct and manage energy. These emotions are flowing through you, still able to harness and direct and manage energy how you so desire. That's what Pappy's here for you, that the kingdom of heaven lives within you, that the keys to the kingdom of heaven live within you. I'm here to show you where these keys are at. I'm here to explain to you how they work. I'm here to teach you and hold your hand, to coach you up and teach you how to apply these keys. that you've been given, this greatest gift you can ever receive, to manifest anything you can imagine. My fellow brothers and sisters, you are an immortal spiritual being, an immortal spiritual being. I remind you, my fellow brothers and sisters, when I say read a page of my book every day, I'm talking about coming into contact with this pure 100% message of love and light and truth and goodness, to embrace this every day. Read a page of my book every day. I offer my book for free. If you go to pappymindsetcoach.com, I will email you a free copy of my book. I'm not trying to sell books. I'm trying to walk hand in hand with you and share love with you, to share knowledge with you, to share ancient wisdom with you. My fellow brothers and sisters, you can manifest anything you can imagine. Every possible potential future outcome for you is right in front of you right now. It's right in front of you. You can accomplish anything. You can manifest anything. Impossible is not a word to us, my fellow brothers and sisters, for you can create anything. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. There's always a way. So listen to my book on Audible. Listen to the podcast that we're taping right now. The podcasts are gaining tremendous traction all across the globe. They're growing by leaps and bounds, along with, as Mikey stated, how our social media is growing beyond by leaps and bounds. Listen to my 28-day online coaching course. Listen to my social media. This is uplifting pep talk after pep talk after pep talk. And I am full of content, my fellow brothers and sisters. I'm delivering to you not fluffy rhetoric. I'm delivering to you ancient wisdom all day long, every time. That's what I'm bringing to you. So my fellow brothers and sisters, thank you so much. Thank you, Mikey, for such a wonderful introduction. Thank you, Kim, for putting together such a great show. I could not have two greater immediate team members of my inner circle, my fellow brothers and sisters. And I give thanks to all the other fellow members and brothers and sisters on Team Pappy Mindset Coach for all the love that they have in their heart and all the support that they provide us in the background as well. My fellow brothers and sisters, in getting today's show started and transitioning, just to give you a real big picture, what Mikey and I were working on today's show, the title that we came up with is Lean into Excitement and Lean Out of Complaining. Lean into excitement, lean out of complaining. So what we're talking about today is under that umbrella. And my fellow brothers and sisters, excitement, not complaining. We're going to go deeper today. So namaste, my wonderful, beautiful fellow brothers. Is namaste. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Mikey.
No, thank you, Pappy. And after that monologue, how can you not be excited to get into today's show? I mean, that's like, talk about a pep talk, talk about excitement. There's nothing to complain about after listening to that. And I know what must have been so exciting for you is to be live on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. I mean, the excitement there must have been through the roof. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience that you had?
Yes, Mikey, and our fellow brothers and sisters who know me, my legacy business, of which I'm still fully active in 6 days a week very often, is DiNuzzo Private Wealth, DiNuzzo Wealth Management. And I have a natural gift for all things finance, money, personal finance, personal investing, planning, taxes, wealth planning, financial planning, risk planning, etc. And that was the practice I started in 1989. And I was recently asked to come to New York City, to the New York Stock Exchange, for an interview on the floor of the Wall Street, on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. And my brother Mark came also. We did a couple of interviews. I did one for Pappy Mindset Coach, and Mark and I did one jointly for DiNuzzo Private Wealth, DiNuzzo Wealth Management. And it's so important, Mikey. I say TAG, T-A-G, as Mikey knows, she's so good. She puts up with me with all my acronyms, but I say TAG, T-A-G. So we want to tag. We want to tag all day long. T for thanks, A for appreciation, and G for gratitude. Thanks, appreciation, gratitude. And I am give so much thanks. I'm so appreciative and so grateful for the wonderful day we had in the New York Stock Exchange with Victor. I want to thank Mr. Neil Green from Jabboy Productions, who arranged everything. Thank you, Neil. Neil is such a wonderful fellow brother. He's a hard charger, born and raised in New York City. And you need to be at a certain level to survive in New York City, especially growing up. Neil's a hard charge. I respect him more than words can describe. And I want to thank him. Thank you, Brother Neil, for getting me the interview, and to be on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange live is a very special gift. It's very hard, as you can imagine, to be able to get there, to be worthy of an interview, everything else that goes along with that. So thankful, so appreciative, and so grateful. And I want to thank my brother Victor from Miami by way of Colombia or Venezuela. I apologize, Victor. I can't remember right. It may be Venezuela where Victor was born and raised. But you just talk about a rags to riches story, to be born in South America and what he went through to come to the United States. And for him to be one of only a handful of organizations that the New York Stock Exchange allows to have interviews and be live on the floor at New York Stock Exchange. So wonderful vibration. I love you, brother Victor. Just such a wonderful human being. But just positive energy everywhere, my fellow brothers and sisters. On the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, just everywhere. Positive energy everywhere. It reminds me of a quote when someone talked a while ago, and this was a billionaire who was talking or close to it. And he was saying, you've got so many people on social media, and they spend a lot of time, even it seems like their whole day, making negative comments and just putting out negativity about their fellow brothers and sisters. And this extraordinary, let's even say this person with $100 million, hundreds of millions of dollars, they say, you know what? I've never run into anyone else that I know that's successful who does any of that. So just think about that for a moment. Just think about that for a moment. You will bring into your life, you will manifest anything you can imagine. Like attracts like. You are a magnet. You put out positive, positive is going to be coming back to you. You put out negative, negative is going to be coming back to you. It's like a boomerang. Just think about this, my fellow brothers and sisters. And it was so obvious to me, Mikey. Excuse me, standing on the floor of New York Stock Exchange, just smiles, fellow brothers and sisters standing tall, shoulders back, head up, walking around, embracing each other, shaking, pleasant conversations. It was just so much high positive vibration. It was just so collaborative and so positive. It was literally beyond palpable. You could feel it up against your body, up against your skin. So I just remind you, my fellow brothers and sisters, you want to be successful with health, wealth, love, happiness, relationships, experiences, spirituality. It all starts with your mindset. That's what Papi Mindset Coach is all about. It all starts with your mindset. When I saw this up close, Mike, it just gave me such a reminder about how important it is for positive energy. I got to see it up front. It was a very stark reminder, but I'm so grateful for the wonderful experience I have. And let's just take this, my fellow brothers and sisters, what today's title, what today's topic for our podcast is: lean into excitement. When you wake up in the morning, lean into what excites you the most and lean into that. Go after that. Focus your day on it. You can manifest anything. Walk away from negative people, negative situations, negative thoughts, negative environments, just any negativity. My fellow brothers and sisters, it is not going to serve you well in any way, shape, or form. So thank you, Mike. I just love sharing it with the audience. And it was just such a great experiential event. And just that positive energy, even myself, who some people consider to be an expert in positive energy. But when I just got to see it and feel it and spend hours in that, it was almost just like being immersed in a giant bathtub of just positive energy, high vibration, high frequency, and then just a wonderful interview on top of that to get to share that on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. One of my goals in life, another one of mine was checked off there that day at the New York Stock Exchange on the floor in New York City. So thank you so much, Mikey, for thinking of such a great topic.
No, that's awesome, and I can hear the excitement in your voice as you're recounting it. That's amazing, and you're always talking about high vibration, and I cannot think of another place in the world, like, other than the New York Stock Exchange that would have such a high vibration. I mean, you could physically probably feel it, so that's
Yes.
pretty amazing. Um, Tab, you offer so many resources for us for free, most of them, to improve our life. And like you mentioned earlier in the show, you mentioned your book, this podcast, the social media that you have. But you also have a weekly email that you send to everybody that's on your mailing list. And that includes 2 free concepts to live by. Just kind of reminding everybody that repetition is your key to manifesting success. And we have so much negativity around us that it's just so nice to get something positive in our inbox. And you're gonna elaborate on one of those today, Pappy. Which one are we gonna talk about?
Yeah, and we're all about the positivity, Mikey, and helping our fellow brothers and sisters. It's so important to get off to a good start. You were talking, Mikey, about positivity. I'm just thinking, I just had a wonderful Zoom with a beautiful brother of ours yesterday. He works for a nonprofit, very large, successful nonprofit. And he and I, whenever we first met, I was doing a keynote presentation at an elite private wealth summit, and I believe it was out in Utah, Mikey. And when I met the gentleman, we just hit it off. His vibration was so high, and his frequency, the energy, we just really just hit it off like long lost friends. And we've really grown to a close relationship and growing into the mastermind. And what he told me yesterday for the first time, Mikey, he said, Pappy, your book, when I say, Mikey, read my book, read it every day. He said, Pappy, any team member that I have, they have to read your book before I'll hire them. Anyone who I'm going to do business with has to read your book. So he's gone that far into it. He's like, you need to read this book. Give me some feedback on it. Let's talk about it. So that's just where his mindset's at. He gets so much energy just off of manifesting that you can imagine. And my fellow brother says, this has nothing to do with Pappy. This has nothing to do with Pappy. I was just a vessel for this information to come down into and through to share with you. I'm just here to help serve you. When my lips are moving, it's not my voice. Okay. When my lips are moving, it's not my voice. This is source. It's coming through love and light and truth and goodness. And one of the most important ones, Mikey, that we just sent out in our emails that just went out for universal ancient wisdom, universal knowledge that Kim sent out. Thank you so much, Kim. Is daily 5 a.m. ritual. And it doesn't have to be exactly 5 a.m., my fellow brothers and sisters. But I've talked to you before that the veil was the thinnest between 3 and 4 a.m. on average. That's when the world that you're in, the hemisphere you're in, the continent you're in, that the veil was the thinnest. That's when things are the quietest. And you're closest to divine presence, to the Akash, to source. You're right there. And it's a lot clearer, a lot easier to communicate. Now, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning is not real practical, or 3:30 or 4, but 5 a.m. for human beings is sort of the earliest reasonable time to wake up. So I've talked about your 5 a.m. ritual. I set my alarm for 5 a.m. Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. on Saturday, 7 a.m. on Sunday. So whenever you first wake up, my fellow brothers and sisters, I've told you about this, the two most important times of the day are your waking ritual and your sleeping ritual. Now, right now, I'm talking about the daily 5 a.m. ritual. This would be tied into your waking ritual. And when you very, very first wake up, my fellow brothers and sisters, you can manifest anything you can imagine, which means you can control your mindset to anything that you can imagine. And that first second, 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 that you are awake, the first 5, 10 seconds, the first 30 seconds, the first minute, maybe up to 5 minutes, probably a maximum of 15, before your conscious mind is up and running yet. But most importantly, when you are right next to your subconscious mind and universal subconscious mind, that is when you take control of your day. You do not wake up in that first second that you recognize you are alive and think about yesterday's, what human beings would call problems, challenges, obstacle. What did I say earlier in today's show, my brothers and sisters, in today's podcast? There is no past, there is no future. It's the most useless thing on earth to think about yesterday. Most useless thing on earth. You control this and you step into, you will manifest what you are, A-R-E, your identity. What you are, your identity, the state that you're in, your beliefs, your belief system, what's inside of your subconscious mind is what you're going to manifest. So within, so without, my fellow brothers and sisters, as within, as without, as above, as below. My fellow brothers and sisters, control your morning when you first wake up. When you first wake up, control your morning. That is when I tell you, I am so happy and grateful. Now, today is the greatest day of my life. I am so happy and grateful. Now, today is the most magnificent day of my life. I am so happy and grateful. Now, today, I have created my masterpiece. My masterpiece. I am so happy and grateful now that something wonderful is happening to me today. I am so happy and grateful now that numerous and multiple wonderful things are happening to me today. That's how I want you to wake up, my fellow brothers and sisters, in that first second that you wake up and you can speak those verbatim, the 5 lines that I just gave you. It will change your day, your week, your month. It'll change your life. It'll change your life. Every word carries power, meaning, vibration, and frequency. My fellow brothers and sisters, step into your power when you very first wake up. And what do we talk about, Mikey? Repetition, repetition, repetition. That's why it's so powerful, my fellow brothers and sisters. You don't have to worry about being perfect every day or being great every day. You're human. There's things that are going to happen. But at the end of the year, you follow me, my fellow brothers and sisters, and you start going from when you were winning 65 days a year and losing 300, and you follow Pappy, and now you're winning 300 days a year and only losing 65. You are going to turn your life around more than you can ever have imagined. Health, wealth, love, happiness, relationships, experiences, and spirituality. One last comment I have, Mikey, is with the 5 a.m. ritual. You see behind me, I've read a lot of books in my life, and that's why I say I've read hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books regarding mind, body, and spirit. Everything that I teach you, my fellow brothers and sisters, downloads almost on a daily basis ever since I sort of got figuratively hit by a bolt of lightning over 25 years ago. And I share this wisdom, this ancient wisdom and knowledge with you. And one thing, Mikey, that struck me years ago in my reading, there was an author called Thomas Troward, Troward, and he had the most wonderful epiphany with his waking ritual. And he was very religious about waking up. He was very consistent about waking up at the crack of dawn every day around 5 a.m. And he had something that came through him, Mikey, that I just want to share with the audience. This is something that Thomas Troward wrote. I just want to share this with you. And Mikey, I have read this. I've read what I'm sharing with our fellow brothers and sisters on the podcast today. I've read this thousands and thousands of times, thousands of times in my life. This is from Thomas Troward. My fellow brothers and sisters, as long as you're not driving, if you're in a safe place, if you're in your house right now, stop what you're doing, close your eyes, settle everything down. Just give me 90 seconds. From Thomas Troward. My mind is a center of divine operation. The divine operation is always for expansion and fuller expression. And this means the production of something beyond what has gone before, something entirely new, not included in the past experience, though proceeding out of it by an orderly sequence of growth. Therefore, since the divine cannot change its inherent nature, it must operate in the same manner with me. Consequently, in my own special world, of which I am the center, it will move forward to produce new conditions, always in advance of any that have gone before. Mikey, I just suggest our fellow brothers and sisters take a look at that, read that paragraph, that quote from Thomas Troward, and just dig into that. It is so powerful. Every word, every phrase, every sentence going deep into ancient wisdom, going deep into vibration and frequency, and telling you from his heart, from his mind, his conscious mind working in harmony with his subconscious mind, working in harmony with his body. You can just feel the wonderful, beautiful vibration frequencies flowing out of those words that Thomas Troward wrote. And he's explaining it to you how this miracle of how Source created this universe and the world we live in works. So just so powerful, Mikey. I just ask our fellow brothers and sisters to include that in some of your best of readings. Just even that paragraph, you can go online, you could Google it, print it out, have a copy of it, put it on your phone, but it is just so powerful. And when I think about the 5 a.m. ritual, Mikey, I've spent a lot of early mornings, hundreds and thousands with Mr. Thomas Troward and his wonderful quote. So I just want to share it with the audience. It served me so well over my life. I want to share it with our fellow brothers and sisters on the podcast today.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Rituals are so important. From the moment I wake up in the morning and my feet hit the floor, like I've gotten into the habit of starting, my day with, I am so happy and grateful now that I am awake. And I do that at night too. I always say to myself, I am so happy and grateful now that I got 1% better today than I did yesterday. And that's really changed the way I wake up in the morning and the way I go to sleep at night. Um, and that's just one of Pappy's coaching tips that he has given me, and, he is so full of so many wonderful coaching tips, and I know he has one for us today. Pappy?
Yes, Mikey, and thank you so much for all of your zone of genius, sharing that with me and preparing for today's podcast. And when Mikey and I were going for the manifesting coaching tip today, when we were putting our heads together, I wanted to go further on the title that is the overarching umbrella over today's show. And again, that's lean into excitement, lean out of complaining. And it's not very often, Mikey, as I said earlier, with uh, the area of neuroscience and neuroscientists within our body, what all the miracles that happen when we're going through the manifesting process and the wonders outside our body through quantum physics and quantum mechanics, these miracles as well that are beyond human comprehension. So just stop it, my fellow brothers and sisters. You are not going to figure this out. You're not going to understand it. It is more complex than you can ever imagine. Love it. Give thanks for it. Give appreciation for it. Give gratitude for it. Embrace it. But there's one, Mikey, on complaining that I've come across this research a number of years ago. I just did want to share this with our fellow brothers and sisters today. So we're talking about complaining, my fellow brothers and sisters. Just want to go a little bit deeper on this with you today. So there was research I saw years ago out of Stanford University that complaining for even as brief as 30 seconds physically damages your brain and can literally ruin your life. Even as little as 30 seconds of complaining can physically damage your brain. This is why the majority or supermajority of our fellow brothers and sisters can never improve their lives because they're in that complaining state. As I say, you want to be present at all times. Half our fellow brothers and sisters are looking at the past. They're complaining. They're moaning and groaning about the past, but primarily complaining about the past. It is literally destroying your mind, eroding your mind. Every time a human being complains, your brain releases the stress hormone cortisol, and it gets a lot worse than that. Cortisol shrinks the part of your brain that solves problems. So just think about this. When you complain, you produce cortisol. Cortisol shrinks the part of your brain that solves problems. The part of your brain that solves problems is called the hippocampus. Talked about that before. I'm just mentioning it again today. So it shrinks your hippocampus, which when they did brain scans, Mikey, on billionaires versus average individuals, they noticed that the billionaires' hippocampuses were much larger than the average person because they're a lot better at solving problems. As I said, the gentleman who was worth hundreds of millions of dollars was saying he doesn't know people that are complaining, but especially going out of their way to say negative things about other brothers and sisters, like sort of putting complaining on steroids. That's why their hippocampuses are larger. They're solving problems. They're not shrinking it and deteriorating it by complaining. So the more habitual of a complainer you are, the dumber you become. You're shrinking your hippocampus and you're reducing your ability to solve problems. And it becomes more challenging as you lean into this over and over to solve problems, challenges, and obstacles. So by complaining, you place yourself in a position of what I call manifesting reactively, which is the exact opposite of my goal to teach you how to manifest proactively. Psychologists even have a fancy name for this. They call this malady negative bias amplification. So, what does this mean? I'm from Pittsburgh, so in plain English, when you complain, you get better at noticing negative things. It actually enhances your ability to notice negative things. This is like a downward death spiral. As far as if you ever want to be successful, one of the worst things you can do is complain. If you complain about health, wealth, love, happiness, relationships, or experiences, any of these top, those are top six. And I talk about spirituality. Any of these top seven I talk to you about, you will only notice and see and experience negative aspects of them, all while missing opportunities and a successful pathway forward. Simply put, my brothers and sisters, You will have trained your brain by complaining. You will have trained your brain to become a problem detector instead of a solution finder. Just think about this. Before you've ever heard about this research, you may have had a suspicion that complaining was not good, but complaining is scientifically horrendous for you. Horrendous, my fellow brothers and sisters. Complaining creates brain damage through the method I described, and will also produce tunnel vision and will produce more additional problems coming into your life. Just think about the person. Just think for a second. We don't want to stay in this space very long or this energy very long, but just think about the person that you know that complains the most. Just think about them. What's their life like? There you go. There you go. Instead, my fellow brothers and sisters, I want you to start every day with excitement. I want you to use a simple strategy whenever you wake up in the morning, and once you take control of your day that I talked about earlier, think about what excites you. Very simply, think about what excites you and follow that as well as you can on a daily basis. You are deserving. Don't be hesitant. Don't be doubtful. Follow what excites you. That's your subconscious mind in communication with universal subconscious mind, telling you what you should be leaning into and following, the vibration and frequency you should be on. My fellow brothers and sisters, you deserve to be satisfied. You deserve to be happy. There's no inherent negative bias here on planet Earth. You've been given the ability by Source to manifest anything you can imagine. Source only says yes, as I said earlier in today's podcast. Source only says yes. Be extraordinarily careful what you're asking for, what you're telling Source, what you're stating, the words that are coming out of your mouth, because Source only says yes, and it will be granted into you, unto you, and into your life. So thank you, Mikey. That's just so important. And I don't usually go that deep from like a technical standard, but just remembered when we were talking about the title for today's show, and I remember that research at University of Stanford years ago, how debilitative it can be to complain. It's just like a negative on top of a negative. It's not a negative domino, knocks down another negative domino, knocks down another negative domino. So my fellow brothers and sisters, completely no value in complaining whatsoever. It's one of the worst things you can do. So thank you, Mikey, for letting me share that valuable manifest coaching tip with our fellow brothers and sisters today. Thank you.
No, thank you. And, whenever you feel like complaining, I just take another page out of your book and I flip the script. Like we're here in Pittsburgh and it's been like 100 degrees like for the past week, and instead of complaining, oh my gosh, it's so hot, just flip the script and just say, you know what, it has been hot, but we can now find some time to just slow down, find some shade and just enjoy the summer. So instead of complaining about it, just embrace it. So and another way that you can do that is with some affirmations, staying positive and staying present, and just saying, I am so happy and grateful now that. And I know that you have one that you're going to share today.
Yeah, Mike, another powerful affirmation from my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine. Very, very powerful. And our fellow brothers and sisters run into this challenge. Unfortunately, a lot of them on a daily basis, multiple times, carrying baggage, carrying weight from the past. I am so happy and grateful now that I forgive and I forgive with love. I forgive and I forgive with love anyone who has ever harmed me or even intended to harm me in any way. And I release them and I release myself from my thoughts. My fellow brothers and sisters, this is so powerful. Forgiveness is so powerful. And when our fellow brothers and sisters are finally coming to terms and grips with even beginning to think about forgiving someone who they feel harmed them, did them wrong, did them dirty, whatever it may have been. Again, this is all in the past, and there is no past. Okay, there is no past. This is all wasted time and energy and everything else. To forgive them, whenever our fellow brothers and sisters start to make improvement and progress in this area, they're thinking that the forgiveness is for the benefit of the person they're forgiving. Some of it, not the majority of it. The majority of the benefit for forgiveness and for forgiving your fellow brothers and sisters, the majority of this benefit falls unto you, my fellow brothers and sisters. Comes to you, the majority of the benefit. You are releasing them, which is very important, but most importantly, releasing yourself from your thoughts. One of the largest causes of disease, and again, disease, our language, I tell you, my fellow brothers, is look up the history of words, the meaning of words, the etymology of words. Look it up, and you'll be very surprised the meanings of some words. A lot of words will tell you what it is just within the spelling. Disease is dis, ease. Dis-ease, the opposite of ease. So one of the number one factors that causes bad health in our fellow brothers and sisters, even up to including cancer in many stages, is holding things in and not releasing them, holding in anger and frustration and guilt and grievances and jealousy, but especially anger towards your fellow brothers and sisters. You do not want to hold that in, my fellow brothers and sisters. It is a 100% losing proposition. So I suggest to you, with the strongest suggestion I possibly can, forgive, and forgive with your heart of hearts, genuinely, authentically. Forgive with your heart of hearts anyone who's ever harmed you in any way, or even intended to harm you in any way, and release them and release yourself from your thoughts. My fellow brothers and sisters, that alone can change your life more than you can ever imagine. So thank you, Mikey, for a wonderful
Mm.
affirmation that you pulled out of my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. That's wonderful advice. And now we've come to the part of the podcast where Pappy answers a question from one of our listeners and subscribers. If you have a question for Pappy, you can go to his website and click the Ask Pappy link at the top in order to submit your question. And today's question is, how do I know my manifestation is close?
Yes, Mikey, this is a common question, probably in the top 20 that I receive. And one way, it may sound counterintuitive at first, my fellow brothers and sisters, but one way that you'll know you're getting close with your manifestation. And again, I ask my fellow brothers and sisters, you've been at this game of life, as I refer to it, for 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, 80 years or more. I mean, fellow brothers and sisters, over 80 years of age, say, Pappy, I want to work on this. I just got turned on. This is the first time I've ever heard of this, that I have this ability. And one of the things, my fellow brothers and sisters, is you start to make progress again in your subconscious mind. The bottom half of that circle that I say, your conscious mind's on top, the line in the middle, subconscious mind on the bottom. I call that your bowl, BOWL. And in there, Bob Proctor would call it your paradigm. I just refer to that as your limiting beliefs. Your hardware and operating system is how I'll refer to. This is what's running you, your hardware and operating system, and your limiting beliefs are in there. And my fellow brothers and sisters, a lot of these limiting beliefs have been placed in your subconscious mind. Again, nothing's more powerful than a suggestion or an auto suggestion. That's a suggestion from yourself to yourself. Suggestions are things that you allow your subconscious mind to hear from other sources, from the news, from the radio, from social media, online, on the internet, peers, family members, anything that goes into your subconscious mind that you do not cancel or reject or say no or nope to. So you've got these deep-seated, in many cases, limiting beliefs. And as you begin to make progress, and again, the question that Mikey posed was, how do I know my manifestation is close? One of the things you will do at first, think that you're going backwards and you're not making progress, because your subconscious mind, your limiting belief system, and to use a technical term, will begin to freak out, because you are attempting to change something that has been embedded in your subconscious mind, these limiting beliefs like concrete, embedded in there like concrete for years, if for not decades. And I told you that's what Pappy's here for, to be your bulldozer, your dynamite, your jackhammer. I'm going to come at these limiting beliefs, these negative limiting beliefs in your subconscious mind. I'm going to hold your hand, walk arm in arm with you, teach you, level you up, coach you up to blow these things up, to get rid of them, to get them the heck out of your subconscious mind, to remove these limiting beliefs. And what will happen, my fellow brothers and sisters, at one of the telltale signs that you're making progress is when your subconscious mind starts to freak out and you start to receive messages like, this is crazy, what am I doing? You're feeling emotions coming through your body. That is great. Give thanks, appreciation, gratitude for that, for that is the greatest sign that you are making progress. As I've spoken to you numerous times before, it's not an exact direct pathway. You will be tested along the path a number of times. You're saying you want this. Are you living in that state? Are you living in that identity? Is that truly who you are? When Source looks into your subconscious mind from that horizontal mirror, I say, as within, so without, as above, so below, as below, so above. And your subconscious mind is reflecting up to Source, your order, you're placing your order. You will draw into your life what you are, A-R-E, your identity, your state. It is starting to freak out because you're changing those deep-seated beliefs and your limiting beliefs in your subconscious mind. So, Mikey, it's a little bit counterintuitive, but I'm glad that you and Kim posed this question because it can really confuse our fellow brothers and sisters when they feel like they've got this attack coming at them and they're a little bit overwhelmed. That means you're making a ton of progress, my fellow brothers and sisters. And I suggest you break through that wall and continue the walls after that. The other obstacles along your pathway, along the course, will be smaller. But when you break through that first big wall, when you break through that first big barrier, when your subconscious mind is coming at you and wants to stay, your limiting beliefs want to keep themselves in your subconscious mind, and you're coming there with Pappy Dynamite and bulldozers and axe and picks and shovels and cleaning those things out, it will have that reaction. But embrace that. That's actually a blessing. That's actually feedback that you're making more progress than you can ever imagine. So keep it up, full speed ahead. That's great feedback. So thank you for such a wonderful question, Mikey.
Yeah, thank you for answering that question so clearly. That's really great advice there. Um, so, Pappy, you gave us a wonderful quote earlier from Thomas Troward, but I know that your book has all these wonderful quotes from you, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, and they're at the beginning of every chapter. And a lot of times I use that as my 5 a.m. ritual as well, as by reading the quotes to every chapter that you have. And we have one lined up for you today to read to us, Pappy. Can you go ahead and read that quote for us?
Yes, Mikey, thank you. And Mikey picked a quote out of Manifest Anything You Can Imagine out of my book from chapter 17. This is just another beautiful, beautiful quote from my book. In order to manifest and live in harmony, alignment, and flow with universal intelligence at a high vibration, you must do everything in your power to avoid negativity and low vibration people and situations at all costs. If your thoughts are negative, you will attract more negative. If your thoughts are positive, you will attract more positive. Pappy DiNuzzo. Just how powerful, Mikey. It's just so many of these things. And Mikey and I often have amazement when we're preparing for a podcast or when we're reviewing it, just how much of this flows into each other, how much is just so, it's like a golden weave of how this wonderful ancient wisdom is just all woven into and connected to each other. So again, my fellow brothers and sisters, in this quote, in order to manifest and live, I say half, HAF, I have it right here, harmony, alignment, and flow with universal intelligence. Universal intelligence is source. Universal intelligence is the creator. Again, I stay neutral as to religion. Whatever your religion is, I love you. I don't ever talk about that. I never talk about it. But I am talking here about source, about the creator of all universal intelligence. So in order to manifest and live in harmony, alignment, and flow at a high vibration, your high vibration, your frequency flows out of your vibration, my fellow brothers and sisters. You must do everything, and I'm a very literal person. You must do everything in your power to avoid negativity wherever it's at. As I tell you all the time, see what is causing you to be in a low vibration. I just watched the news. Stop watching that news. I was just scrolling through and reading about a certain person that I read about from time to time on social media. Stop reading what that person's putting out. A certain person gives a weather report a certain way. Stop listening to that person give the weather report. My fellow brothers, this is very simple. Take a look. Go back to those breadcrumbs and see what led you into this low vibration state. And very simply, protect yourself and avoid negativity and low vibration people and situations at all costs. A place, a location, a club, any type of certain location around fellow brothers and sisters, certain people, certain forms of information, certain screens, technology. Please, I implore you, pay very close attention and avoid this negativity, low vibration people, low vibration situations and locations at all costs. My fellow brothers and sisters, just by eliminating that, just through the process of elimination, you can elevate yourself, and that can assist your manifesting proactively process more than you can ever imagine. Eliminating these low vibration situations one at a time, it can improve your life. Just that alone will make such a positive improvement. You won't be able to believe it. Thank you, Mikey.
Awesome. And it always surprises me when you and I do these podcasts, like we start with the title and then we end with the quote, and we don't always plan it, but the universe always leads us into this way. Like today's show was leaning into excitement, stay away from complaining. And then today's quote was just stay away from negativity. So it's just the way the universe works things out. So I think that's always really interesting. Um, So, if you're a successful entrepreneur looking to take your business, life, health, wealth, love, and impact to the next level, the Pappy Mindset Manifestation Mastermind and/or the Pappy Mindset Manifestation Retreats may be just the answer and experience you've been looking for. This is where positive thoughts, emotions, and actions align with ancient wisdom within a tribe of purpose meets profit entrepreneurs who are dedicated to elevating their mindset, their energy, their results, and their fellow brothers and sisters in need. If you're ready to manifest, grow, stretch, and really step into the next newer, higher version of yourself, our mastermind and retreats were created just for you. So let's go to Pappy for his final closing. Thank you, Pappy, for today's show.
Thank you so much, Mikey. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, all of our wonderful, wonderful, beautiful fellow brothers and sisters for listening to today's podcast. Thank you so much. And I implore you, if this message is vibrating with you, if it is doing what I know it's doing inside of you, please share it with fellow brothers and sisters. We have so many ambassadors out there across the entire globe. If you'd like to be an ambassador, please come and join our tribe. My fellow brothers and sisters, share this wonderful message of love and light and truth and goodness, of awakening, inner knowing, and remembrance. Share this with our fellow brothers and sisters. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. My beautiful, wonderful fellow brothers and sisters, namaste. Namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. Again, I want to congratulate you on the greatest day of your life. I just want to put a hop in your step whenever you get out of your car, whatever you're doing for the rest of the day. That I've got some pep in your step, that you are so happy and thankful and appreciative that today is the greatest day of your life. This has been so enjoyable. Excuse me, spending quality time with you today on the greatest day of your life. I am truly very thankful, appreciative, and grateful for you joining us today. My fellow brothers and sisters, I am sending you love, light, truth, and goodness, sending you awaken, inner knowing, and remembrance, and my positive energy at this very moment. My fellow brothers and sisters, we are going through a grand awakening. We are going through an awakening through the 4D. You've heard me say before, we're going through the big shift to the new earth, a multi-thousands and thousands and thousands of year process coming to a culmination. The big shift from 3D to 5D. We are going through the 4D. That's where I want to get you through the ascension and awakening. I'm here to shine sunlight on you, to place rainwater to help you grow like a plant, to help this inner knowing within you to dust it off and to get it to grow. So this is about a grand awakening, about a grand remembrance. Pappy is here to get you to remember, my fellow brothers and sisters. Remember this perfect spiritual spark that's within you. Remember this perfect God spark that's within you. Remember this perfect God source that's inside of you. My fellow brothers and sisters, how exciting. Share my positive energy with you, my advancing personality, my impression of increase with you at this very moment. I also want to give a shout out, my beautiful, wonderful fellow brothers and sisters. I appreciate all of the wonderful, impact-driven entrepreneurs in my audience, in my tribe, in the mastermind, the retreats, and everything who support me. I want to thank all of you beautiful fellow brothers and sisters who are dedicated to merging their purpose with their profit and their business. who are truly paying it forward to their fellow brothers and sisters in need and delivering true impact to our fellow brothers and sisters in need all across planet Earth. So beautiful. I love each and every one of you, my fellow impact-driven entrepreneur brothers and sisters. I love each and every one of you for the goodness that's in your heart and how much you love your fellow brothers and sisters and want to share. My fellow brothers and sisters, in closing, most powerful words on earth, most powerful words on earth. I am, I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am. My fellow brothers and sisters, love and blessings from me, from Papi, and our entire team at Papi Mindset Coach. Love and blessings to you and all of your loved ones until we meet again. Love and blessings. Namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. Namaste. That's a wrap for this episode of Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast. Keep those dreams big and your mindset unstoppable. Take one step today toward the life you're manifesting because you can create anything you imagine. If you can think it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Visit PapiMindsetCoach.com for more resources and follow us at Papi Mindset Coach on social platforms for daily inspiration. If you love this episode, share it with someone ready to transform their life. Until next time, stay focused, stay positive, and keep on manifesting your best life. See you soon.